What is up, guys? Jonas here. This is the day after the day of Lebanon, and if you do, at the end of the video, I was talking about how the Z was having some issues with fuel starvation. Um, it was running like complete shit. It it sounded bad. If you heard in one of the clips, you could just hear it. Like, had no power. It sounded like it was misfiring. We got our fuel pump that came in. Pop this open, take a look at it. Has all the things like the sleeve. Not going to be using this fuel line, and this fuel line will be using the connector and the little pickup tube, or well, filter slash pickup. And then here is the pump. And like I said, this is just a Chinese fucking 255, so this should be plenty for the job, since once again this is a secondary pump, not the main pump. Alright, so I took the connector that came with the fuel pump that I bought, and I went ahead and just extended it. So I mean, I'm sure it might have to get cut down a little bit, but that will all be done once I actually have everything in place. Also, this is what your fuel pump should be looking like if you put on all the little accessories. Your little pickup and your sleeve. And I mean, you could not run this, but it's worth running it because this is going to be going against your tank, and you don't really want it rattling against that, and it gives it some extra grip once it gets zip tied in there. I'm in the Z now. I'm getting everything ready. Got the seat moved up, but I'm currently having issues with this the driver's seat. Seems to want to go back just fine, but it will not recline upwards. So as you can see, I'm fucking mashing the button, nothing. So this kind of makes this job, I mean, I assume that I could probably get away with not having to have the seat reclined all the way back, but it helps a shit ton. Alright, so we're over here on the passenger side. Basically we have to pop off this piece right here, which I'm going to go ahead and try to do now. Alright, so after a little bit of prying, the cover's off, and then there will be this little piece of insulation on top, and all you gotta do is just pull that up through there. It'll just be tucked in here. So now you can see we have 4 10 mils. And then we'll get access to our fuel pump. That's how it'll look on the driver's side. This is for your sending unit, but this is where your secondary pump is going to be going. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this insulation out of here. I'm sorry about the lighting too. It's getting dark out because I got out kind of late today. But got the insulation out, and yeah, looks like the same deal on both these sides. Alright, so once you have the lid off, here's your fuel pump, and yeah, it's really dirty down there. Lots of just dirt. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean all that stuff off. Alright, so I cleaned up the fuel pump and the surface all around it the other day, so I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the actual pump now. Comes off this little connector, and just for sake of convenience, I'm gonna get this fed out of here. So now there's gonna be pressure in your fuel line, or your fuel system, so you're gonna go ahead and want to get rid of that fuel. So when you disconnect this line here, you don't want that shit spraying everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn the car on. I've seen other people do this differently by unplugging the fuel pressure regulator up front, but I think this is way more convenient and it makes less of a mess. So we go ahead and start it up with this unplugged, and should get rid of the fuel in the system. Alright, so now disconnecting the fuel line, it looks like it just has these 2 little push clips, and I think you squeeze them together and it should release it like so. And yeah, not much fuel came out, so that's good. So just go ahead and leave that over to the side, and now start undoing these little screws. They're all Phillips heads, but it looks like you can fit maybe an 8mm on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright, so I got the pump out. There will be another line underneath with the same little quick disconnect setup. So you gotta just pull that off. This goes down into the tank somewhere, but I have it kind of just hanging up here so it doesn't fall in, so I don't have to snake it out again. But yeah, here's the pump. It was kind of hard to get it out. You gotta make sure on the level sensor here, you gotta make sure you get that through the hole, because, you know, as you see, it's gonna stick out further. So yep, and then here's the O-ring. Just give this a quick clean off. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I'm gonna do now to add that piece. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled out the driver side level sensor. So this part is gonna be a pain, but these zip ties, as you can see, you gotta feed it through this baffling that's in the tank, and it can be quite a pain to get that through. And then once that's in, I highly suggest doing this with a tank of being empty, because it sucks, you know, if your tank has some bit of gas, because my hands are all fucking dried out now. But oh well, the show must go on. And now the pump will go in here like so, and it'll be held in by those zip ties that were strung up. There you go. Yeah, getting those zip ties are going to be a big bitch, setting those things up, so just word of warning, you'll probably be pissed off doing this. And to make it wiring this easier, grab the two, it'll be a black ground green power off the pump, and it goes up to the actual top hat. And to pop this off, there's this little, it's hard to see, but there's a little tit on there that you just pull that back, pull down on it, and this connector should just slide down, giving you an ease of access to this piece. So we're gonna go ahead and cut in the middle and strip it, and then use the butt connector to splice them in three-way. Alright, so I went ahead and spliced them in. As you can see, it's together, and then this will go back up, and it will go ahead and pop in there like, come on, there we go, clicks into place. And yeah, there you go, that's the wiring side of it, and this is gonna go ahead and get fed through the tank. Alright, got our fuel line on there. Use the hose clamp. I was gonna use one of the constant tension ones, but didn't end up working. Didn't fit on there nicely, so I ended up using one of these. I know you're not supposed to use these, but I'm pretty sure it'll be just fine. And then I got the other end. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think drop this in now, and get this all, you know, worked up and button it up in the tank. Alright, update. I've been wrestling this whole setup for a while. I realized that the way I have this set up now will not work. With this gas line running here, it's going to obviously run and hit the fuel gauge. So I'm going to have to decide what I'm going to do with this and reroute it. I've been, honestly, if you are not aware, I've been actually mimicking kind of the Z1 kit. The Z1 Motorsport kit, it's basically similar to what I'm doing. It comes with a couple of other things. But I'm gonna have to look and see how they route this piece. Alright, so I went ahead and cut off the bottom section of that, and then just stuck it right here, and then had a little zip tie securing it. Alright guys, so I actually ended up finishing everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime the fuel pumps now, and put the handy dandy fire extinguisher just in case. I go over to this side. help if I had the key. Ooh. Alright, I heard them both prime up. I don't think I'm gonna start it. I think I want to get a thing of gas before I actually do end up firing this thing up, because the secondary fuel pump doesn't really have much fuel going to it. I don't really want to run it dry and, you know, burn it out. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and run to the gas station and grab some fuel for it. Also, once again, I highly recommend you guys like taping off the actual ring where you actually stick your hand into the fuel tank, because you will cut the shit out of your hands. I was kind of just very barbaric with it. I was like, fuck it, I want to get this shit done, and I ended up getting it done, which was sweet, even though it was a big bitch getting that second fuel line onto that little 5/16 metal rod. That was pretty hard. Kind of had to like put it in a position in the tank where you can actually kind of grab it, because if you don't have that set up, you won't be able to grab that fuel line, and you can't put it on and then drop it in, because it does not have the clearance for it. Sorry about my voice. My shit is rough right now, but yeah, it was definitely not a fun job. So if you're pretty dedicated like I am, then this is definitely for you. But if you don't really have the mechanical finesse to do something like this, highly just have you send it out to someone who knows, because it's not that easy. It seems pretty cut and dry, but it's really not. There's a lot of like small things that kind of make it a nightmare. Alright guys, about to go to the gas station. Got the jerry can right over there. Hear the pump over on that side. Made sure that our fuel gauge was actually reading too, which it is. So I didn't fuck anything up. Pretty stoked. It's got all the other tidbit pieces that go along with it, but I'm gonna just leave them off for now until I know for sure that this car is all set. Guys, I gotta say, with no sound editing material on those fuel pumps or the covers, it's so loud in here. Alright guys, so I think this wraps up this video. Hopefully you guys found it useful, and to clarify once again, this is not a mod to increase power at all. This is just for when you're finding issues on the track with fuel starvation. And once again, our 370Zs have this issue because of the saddlebag gas tank design. So that'll be enough. 1920. Don't want to put too much just in case. But yeah, this was, you know, once again, not a performance mod. This is just a reliability mod just for the track. So if you find you're having issues like I am, where you're getting fuel starvation and the car doesn't have full power going through right-hand corners, then this will be very useful to you. I'll try to clarify or make a parts list of everything that you'll probably need to get the job done. Or you can just get the Z1 Motorsports anti-starvation kit. And then I know they have the CJM kit that you can get, which is another twin pump setup, but it's much different, a little bit more bougie, and more expensive. Definitely the most expensive fix for the starvation issue. So yeah, I'll update you guys if anything happens, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.